Good morning, guys. My name is Federico Gaitan, and my project and experimentation was done on the effects that resistance training has on measures of flexibility health. And starting off, resistance training and flexibility. So a little background on this is there was not a lot of research that has been done for this specific topic of mine. The literature that I did find during my research did not directly relate with my topic. So it wasn't how resistance training affected flexibility so much. It was different literature like how do other types of exercise have an effect on flexibility, whether it increases or decreases, or just different flexibility relatable topics, or if not, there were different resistance training relatable topics, and those are the ones that I chose to add to my project. So the importance of flexibility health. Why is this an issue? So for me, I've noticed that those around me, my patients, my clients, as we get older, the importance of having good flexibility comes up. And the general population that does not exercise, that does not work on their flexibility, that are couch potatoes, or that are too busy working and don't have enough time to work on flexibility, they end up having musculoskeletal health issues. I currently work at a chiropractor's office, and I'm his assistant. And every day, it's the same story. Whenever we get new patients, these patients are too busy to work on their flexibility. They do not use resistance exercises. They do not do any type of training to keep their flexibility at a good level. Therefore, they get injured. They get injured a lot quicker, a lot earlier in life. And you don't keep up with your flexibility health as you're getting older, you have a higher risk of injury. Same thing goes for athletes. I mean, if you don't stretch, you're going to have a higher risk of getting injured out on the field. So the goals of our office is to not only treat our patients, but to also teach them different methods on how to increase flexibility within their bodies. And that's something that's very important for me. Why do we need to do further research in this area? The reason being is because we need to be prepared. Like I said, as we get older, we need to be prepared, and we need to stay healthy. We need to stay flexible. We need to keep moving. We need to keep stretching. Keeping that flexibility health is a big thing, especially as we're getting older and older. So, the question, can resistance training give an increase to flexibility in the human body? My hypothesis is I believe that resistance training can give a positive increase to flexibility measurements. And this is what my research project was all about. I took 20 test subjects, 20 females from UCR's varsity basketball team. I randomly chose them out of 30 students who had participated for this project. I weighed them. I measured their height. I had them sign consent forms. I also took down their age. and I took a sit and reach test, and I had the 20 test subjects do it on day one of the 4-week trial, and at the end, the last day of the 4-week trial. Group A, which was my resistance exercise training group, I added 100 pounds of weight onto their 45-pound Olympic lifting bar. I had them do these 3 different compound exercises. 3 days per week, I had them do squats, deadlifts, and lunges, 3 sets, 10 repetitions, and 3 days per week once again. Group B, which was my non-resistance training group, no weight, no bar, just squats, deadlifts, lunges, 3 sets, 10 repetitions, and this was 3 days per week. My instrumentation that I used was the sit and reach toolbox. I used this to measure their flexibility day 1, and then also day 31 after the 4 weeks of training. And also for Group A was my 45-pound Olympic lifting bar, and the weights that I added to it. Those were my instruments that I used for this experimentation. The statistical test that I use is a 2-way ANOVA test. And this specific test is used to test 2 different groups. Therefore, I had Group A, Group B, and as you can see here on my data, I have their pre-test measurements, how many inches they were able to reach at the beginning, and post-test measurements, how many inches they were able to further reach after the 4 weeks of trial. I have my averages here, and for both Group A and as well for Group B. And yes, this was at first I was having trouble with learning how to use the 2-way ANOVA test, but in the end, after some instruction from Dr. Cromate, it really helped. So I thank her for her help in that area. It was able to, it gave me a clearer understanding of my participants and their measurements and their averages, and how much they improved and how much Group B did not improve. So resistance training proved that it does help with flexibility, does help increase flexibility, and that test also showed me that Group B, not using any resistance training, did not increase with their flexibility as much as I thought. Moving forward. Sorry, I meant to look forward. So, discussion. The purpose of this study was to see to check and experiment whether resistance training, having those weight-bearing exercises, whether that would help increase flexibility. And resistance training does have a positive increase in flexibility. And this was a great thing to conclude. And yes, my results were aligned with the research that I had already searched beforehand, all the articles and the journals that I have looked up before this. So yes, my results did align with the research that was already made. So conclusion, future research. What other training can have a positive increase in flexibility? So I want to know what other types of training regimens out there are able to help with flexibility increases. Who knows? Maybe it could be hit training. Maybe it could be strength training. I just want to get a better understanding of what else can help with flexibility, since it is so important to our health. I would also like to research my topic again, but use more resistance training, different exercises, rather than just the three, the squats, the deadlifts, and the lunges. I would like to use more exercises added to that 4 weeks, and see if there are more increases in flexibility. Maybe there is, and I would really like to find that out. In conclusions, so my primary findings were, yes, resistance training does have a positive increase in flexibility, which is great for our health and great for my patients, great for my clients, and great for my participants that were in this study. And I also found out that not using resistance training can give you minimal increases in flexibility. So this is important to know for those of you out there who want to increase your flexibility, or are working with patients or clients who want to increase their flexibility and do more than just stretching. Here you go. This is a perfect indication or proof through my findings that resistance training does positively increase flexibility in our bodies. So you guys can share this with your clients, share this with your patients, share this with your family members and friends, and it's a good thing to know, especially when you're trying to be healthy and reduce the risk of injury. Thank you guys for listening to me today. I look forward to seeing your presentations as well. Thank you.